For nearly all of your parcels, you'll want to show information, usually near the center of the parcel, that conveys the parcel number, acreage, and other things. Parcel area labels are used for this purpose, so let's see how they work. In our example drawing here, we've got a couple of different parcel types. We've got right-of-ways, we've got single-family lots, we've got adjoiner lots, and we've got green space lots. And usually the case is for different types of lots in a drawing, you're going to want to show different information near the center. But right now, these are all the same. They all show a parcel number and an acreage. And in some cases, this just simply doesn't make sense. For example, existing lots may not even have a parcel number. That's typically something we reserve for the lots of our development, is to assign each one a number. And right-of-way lots typically don't have a label at all. So how do we control not only what is shown in these labels, but what does it look like? What fonts are used, what colors, layers, that sort of thing. So let's start with the right-of-way. And typically we don't label the area of a right-of-way or really anything about the properties of that parcel itself. So how can I just get rid of this label? Well, you might think, I can just go in here and select it and hit delete, but we're dealing with Civil 3D objects, not AutoCAD entities here. So we kind of have to play by Civil 3D's rules. And the way that Civil 3D wants us to do this is to go into Parcel Properties. So I'll just select the parcel, right-click and go to Parcel Properties. And you're probably going to default to this Information tab. You'll want to switch over to the Composition tab. And in the list of parcel area label styles, you'll pick None. So parcels are unique in that they're kind of already labeled when you create them. And even if you set the style to none, there's always a label kind of embedded at the heart of the parcel. And you simply are telling Civil 3D what style to apply to that label. It's a little different than other objects where you explicitly label them after they're created. So we'll set that to none and click OK, and the label disappears. Now this gives us a unique challenge in that if we want to go in and change, let's say, the style of that parcel, we can't select it anymore. We've lost our handle, which is one of the most important functions that these area labels serve, is that they give us something to click on to select the parcel. So if we can't select the area label, how do we select this parcel? And the answer is to use Prospector. So if you go over to Prospector and you expand sites where your parcels live, and drill down until you see the individual parcels, you can actually take a look at their names, or you can even preview their shapes. Now, if you want to be able to preview the parcels, you have to do two things. You have to make sure this button is pushed in, and you have to right-click parcels and make sure Show Preview is turned on. So it's easy to forget one or both of those. With that turned on, you can then click and preview them. We've got another thing helping us out here in that the name template for the parcels includes the style. So this parcel actually jumps right out at us with this ROW in the name, and that helps us determine which parcel we're dealing with. So now I can right-click the parcel here and either select it or go into its properties and maybe bring the label back or turn it off again. All right, so that's how you select a parcel where you've suppressed the display of the area label. So as you might guess, the other area labels are pretty easy, but I want to show you another trick while I'm here. Actually, let's jump down to green space, and we'll do this one a little more directly. I'll select, right-click, Parcel Properties, and I'm simply going to change this to an area label style I have called green space, which just puts the word green space in there and the acreage. Pretty simple and straightforward. The next trick I want to show you is how to handle multiple lots. What if I want to change the area label style of multiple lots? Well, if I select multiples and right-click and pick Parcel Properties, they unselect. Parcel Properties isn't a command that enables multiple objects to be selected. So what do? Well, I'm going to turn off this preview window and go up here to Parcels. And I'm taking note that these three parcels are number 223, 222, and 224. So I've got this listing of all my parcels down here, and if I go to the parcel number column and just sort by that value, and there's my 222, 223, and 224. I can select all three of those using either the Control key or the Shift key. And then I'll scroll over to the area label style column. You can see right now it's set to parcel number and acres. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky. I have to remember, in order to change all three of these values at once, the default behavior seems to be to just click in one of these cells and it would edit all three. And that's actually not how it works. What you need to do is right-click the column heading and pick Edit. Now I can go in and choose the style that I want to use, which I'm going to pick one called Description, Square Foot, and Acres. And I'll click OK. And it's going to change all three of those. So we can see, and it just so happens that in the description we have the property owner listed for each one of these lots. So we can see our three different property owners with the square footage and acreage listed for each one of them. All right, so that's how you edit multiple objects in a table like this. You select them, right-click the column heading, and pick Edit. There are other places, lots of other places in the software where that works. So that's a good trick to know. So as you can see, parcel area labels are a useful tool for conveying information about each parcel. And thanks to styles, we can easily change what type of information we show for different types of parcels.